cards out.
And we're live. Hello, everyone. Thanks for coming here today. And Jenny, Starfish Jennie, how are you doing?
I'm fabulous.
That's
Happy to
great.
be here with you, Joan.
We're both happy to be here and so grateful that some people showed up, Lottie B and Ann Swantick. Yeah, that's that's who's here today. So we're really glad you're here. And what we're going to be up to today is doing past life readings and Akashic Records readings, and really any kind of reading you want. So if you have some questions, especially, oh, and there's Akila B,
And
24.
animals. I can, I'd like to do animals too if you have a problem with your pet.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's great. And here's Peaceful, Easy Feeling and Teresa Ford. Thanks for showing up. And Rossi, lovely to see you. Thanks for coming. So yeah, Jenny, would you mind telling the story? You said you how you manifested having fewer things in your house that you told me.
So I had this huge shelf in my kitchen that was overladen with plates and bowls, heavy Italian pottery plates and bowls. And I kept saying, like, every day, I have too much on this shelf. I have too many bowls. I have too many bowls. I have too many bowls. Every time I'd open that, I'd say, I have too many bowls, like way too many bowls. So guess what? I was putting some things away and the shelf tipped over and it all came crashing around me, all of it. So I think the angels protected me because I could have really gotten hurt bad, cut bad, and it was everywhere. The glass was everywhere, and there was huge pieces, huge shards, and then also some things got pulverized into like glass powder. It was horrendous. So be careful what you say. And I said it over and over and over again. I have too many bowls, too many bowls, too many bowls. Now I don't have any bowls.
They fixed that for you, didn't they? Oh, that's good. All right. Hey, and I've got, let's see, Lottie B and Teresa Ford and Rossi, I've got your request for reading starred. And if you want to have like something specific, if you want a past life reading or about an area of your life, just let us know.
Or a challenge in your life now. Or
and you said pets too, that you really like doing pets. Yeah.
If you have a challenge with a pet.
Wonderful.
I got my cards out too. Just in case.
Yeah, we can do it all. Well, let's dive in. Oh, but who else I wanted to say? Who said that she'd been grocery shopping for a month? Oh, Ann Swantek. I'm impressed. That's pretty organized to be able to go food shopping for a whole month. And how smart to do it now, because I was shopping today and thought, I should pick up stuff for Christmas. And I thought, I don't know exactly what I need, but how smart to be ahead of it all and avoid the crowds. Okay, so let's start out with Lottie B, who would love to have a reading. Okay. Are you up for doing just a general reading, Jenny?
Yeah.
Okay, let's do it. This might take a while as the first person today.
So I'm getting just really enjoy this season and go out and enjoy the holiday season, the Christmas season. Go find things that will create joy in you, in your heart. So I think you're going to have a good December.
Okay. I'm not sure what this is all about. All I keep seeing is a little dog. It's a short-legged dog. It looks sort of like a corgi, except not with the big pricked up ears. They're smaller, like little triangle ears that fold down. And it is on a leash and it's walking next to you. And it's very, 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 it's very well mannered, looking up to you and adoringly. So Spirit, who is this? This might be the spirit of a dog you used to have, or it may be the feeling of the special kind of feeling of love and understanding and fidelity and just unconditional love that comes from a dog. So whether this is a real dog or even a spirit dog of a dog you had, there is this being that's walking next to you, or in a spirit sense being oh yeah, and I keep closing my eyes, and it's like sitting down. Just it never takes its eyes off of you. It's just adoring you. So there's someone in spirit who just adores you. And I got a card of the Archangel of Grace who said, "More flow, less hustle," which doesn't seem to relate to the little dog at all. But if you have any idea who that little dog is, Lottie, that would be okay. This sounds like I do have a dog, but it sounds like my dog Mill. Mill used. Oh, your mother-in-law used to have. Okay, that might be it. But it's still around and still can't take his eyes off of you or of her, whomever it is, whoever its master is, because I'm only seeing the person from like the knees down. So yeah.
So I'm getting Florida for you. I don't know whether you live in Florida or you're going to Florida. I got strong Florida vibes. So
interesting. I'm sorry if I stepped on your answer.
No, I got it later after you started talking.
Okay. So here's Teresa Ford, who would also like a reading.
I'm getting that family is very important to you right now. Like pay close attention to them and hold them close. And give them love and get the love from them in return.
Okay. Teresa, when I tune in, I get an image of an old-fashioned kind of dark gray or dark blue pickup truck. Like they're all rounded and everything, and there's a Christmas tree in the back. And I see this sometimes as sort of a symbol for. And okay, so it's got the Christmas tree, and it comes around the snow-covered landscape, and it's put it in the house. It kind of looks like a Grandma Moses painting. Everything is sort of the perfect country Christmas or something like that. And it's the feeling of the tradition, the family tradition of having a holiday together. And it's both the feeling of the joy that you get from that, but it's also giving me the feeling of this is one way to do Christmas, but it's not the only way. And you can feel okay to break outside of that mold and that model of doing the holidays and still feel the joy of it. It doesn't have to be perfect. It doesn't have to be the way you've always done it. And it's something about keeping, it's sort of this, not really the Hallmark Christmas, but it's a different kind of, more personal kind of way you've done it before. And you can keep the spirit of that without having to do everything, because that can get to be a lot of work, and sometimes it's just not possible. So I hope that makes some sense.
So I want to add on again. I get more while you're talking, Joan.
Okay.
So this is crazy. You have to say what you get. I got, first it was eggs, and then it was chickens, and then it was a chicken coop. And so does somebody in your family back, either grow chicken, raise chickens, or did they have a chicken coop when you were growing up? I don't know, but I got very heavy chicken eggs in my coop. So that could be a symbol of something, or is that something that somebody in your family does, and they're showing up for you right now. I'm not quite sure.
Interesting. Well, Teresa said that she's in Florida, and Lottie B said Lottie. Okay, Lottie B is in the UK, and Teresa's in Florida. So let us know. Oh, here we go. Teresa said, my daughter had chickens and my mom had chickens. Not now, though. So
wow, yeah, I got it was the past thing, chickens, but those chickens are around you, or it's important for some reason because I've never gotten chickens before. Oh, wow. So
maybe just a
what do you
reminder
make of that, Joan?
about the chickens.
Yeah.
I think that is a connection with those two people. So that was, whether they're in spirit or in the flesh, that's kind of a way that that they were connecting.
Yeah, I kind of got that was the way somebody was showing up.
Yeah.
Chicken,
Yeah.
Yeah. And also, eggs are fertility. So
Eggs.
you could stretch that and say, well, um, your coming up months are going to be fertile and lush and
filled with potential, filled with possibilities and potential. Okay. Oh, and both the mom and the daughter are still living. So there's something about the whole chicken imagery. Maybe you'll come to you later. But yeah, that's cool. Next we have Rossi.
Hi,
I love the
Rossi.
cat with the tilted head. Okay, let's see what we can get for Rossi. This is interesting. I've never seen anything like this before. I am seeing you kind of in a stylized, like you're in a rowboat or some kind of boat out on the ocean, but you've got one hand up, and it's like like the screen that we're all looking at, and like one, with me, I've got Jennie on my right on my screen, and it was as if Jennie's square was all black, and you're just pulling around this black screen. There's most of the rest of the background is normal, the seaside and everything, but you're pulling around this black screen that starts kind of like this far behind your sight. So it's like you're out enjoying your life, you're doing your thing, and moving forward, but there is something, but you could be more efficient rowing or however it is that you're moving forward, but you've got this thing that you don't want to look at, or it's dragging you, it's not in the front of your mind, it's not blocking you in any way, you're still living your life, but there's something that is like, nope, I'm not going to look at that right now, or I'm just not going to deal with that right now. And maybe that's intentional. And you said, no, I'm going to live my life and I'm not going to deal with even thinking about that. But if that resonates at all, maybe when the time is right, not when you're out in the middle of the ocean and in a dangerous situation, see if there's some way you can release that so that you'll be able to move forward even more vibrantly than you seem to be right now. Let's see if there's a card that will help with that. I got the grouse, who says, embrace the power of dance and movement to access to your highest guidance. So to me, that could be just go for a walk and meditate or something, just moving along. I hope that made some sense. Did you get anything for Rossi about this?
Yeah, well, I just get that keep your life in balance. So like you're rushing around, you're getting a lot of things done, but keep a balance. So take me time. If you have a bathtub, take a bath. Get a pedicure, manicure, it's just, you're doing a lot of things. So slow down sometimes and just be with yourself. That's what I got.
Yeah. And the more I look at it, I'm seeing that it's more intentional. Because I tune back in, you're not rowing, you're like on this rocking horse, and there's this still black square over there, but the wind's coming and your hair's going like this. So I'm with that one, it made me feel like this is more intentional. I'll deal with that some other time. I've blocked that out for now, and I'm going to do what I'm going to do. And then when it's time, I'll go back and take a look at that, what's behind the black spot. Oh, and everybody else probably saw this but me, but Teresa said maybe the chickens were my mama hen and my own egg. Okay, that makes sense. There's Rossi. Next we have peaceful, easy feeling. What is the past life that's having the most influence on this life?
That's a good question.
Yeah. Okay, balance is needed, Rossi says. Makes sense. Okay. I'm seeing it took me a while to figure this out. I'm seeing you in, I don't know, maybe late 17, maybe early 1800s, early to mid 1800s, as a nanny in England, and you're taking care of these kids. And especially there's a new baby that you're having to take care of. And you are, you're working for this family and taking care of the children, but it's so lonely. You gave so much to these children and to this family that you didn't really have a family of your own, or if you did, you had very little time to see them. And so, Spirit, why is this an important life for peaceful, easy feeling? How does this influence her current life? You have a habit, a well-worn road, a well-worn habit of taking care of other people, and sometimes to your own, without giving thought to your own needs. And so, yeah. So just think about that. Make sure that you, good caregiving starts with taking care of yourself. I don't see that this person was overly sad. She enjoyed, that was kind of her stage, her place in life. And she had kind of the English stiff upper lip that, I'm not going to be the person who has all the kids in the mansion and is able to hire other people to take care of them. So you enjoyed the life, but there was a part of you that was left unexpressed. You didn't reach your full potential, not of the full expression of what you kind of wanted to do in that life. Oh, she says still doing it, caregiving. Oh, and she's a caregiver. Okay. But you know what? I kind of was feeling I was reading that for myself too, because I'm taking care of a lot of people, but not professionally. What did you get, Jenny?
So I got that possibly the next life after that one, that she started in England and then took a boat to the United States. And so I saw her like in New York as a young girl with, the flouncy skirts and hat, and so excited about her new life. So excited. And it has a lot to do with hats too. Maybe she was a milliner. But in that life, she had a happy family. So sometimes you flip back and forth.
Yeah.
And I think she stayed in New York and had a successful business too.
I got chills with that when you said happy family.
Yeah. So yeah.
And peacefully healing. Was that in the 1920s, or that sounds earlier?
It was earlier. I got earlier. I mean, you might have been there in the 1920s, but it was earlier.
Okay.
I'm not good with dates, but it would have been like you would have come through and gone to Ellis Island and signed the paperwork. I don't think it was the 20s. I was thinking like maybe, I don't know, 1890 or 1900, but
like
if you were a young girl and you came in 1900, then you would have been a full-fledged adult in 1920.
Mm-hmm. Oh, and she said she doesn't.
Do you love Art Deco? Do you love anything that's Art Deco?
Yeah. There's Tarot your way. Nice to see you. Thanks for stopping in. That was kind of fun. Thank you very much. And we'll both be careful not to forget ourselves in caring for other people. Next up,
it's easy to do. It's very easy to get.
Yeah, you know that song.
Wrapped up in the activity of caring for another person. There was one thing that I did for myself that I loved. I have one of those, what do you call it, new face. And when I was taking care of somebody, it's a microcurrent machine, and you move it on your face, and it's like giving yourself a spa facial, and that to me became like a meditation. And that was my time in my bathroom by myself, sitting down, doing that. And I could sit there and do it for 30 minutes at least. And that was my time.
Yeah.
I didn't have to take care of anybody. So just look for little things that you can do for yourself. You have to do that. You can't give and give and give and give and give and give. Because if you do, you will eventually won't have anything to give.
Yeah. And for me, I've been complaining to people that I used to meditate so regularly, twice a day, get up at 3:30 in the morning and then at night, and on vacation, at home all the time. And then since my husband died, it kind of felt I can't get back on the schedule again. And my kind of mentor said, well, when he was there and you were caring for him, that was your you time, just as like you said. And now it's different. Now your schedule's all kind of blown up, and you can do it anytime, and it's just a matter of settling and landing again. So
yeah, but you do have to prioritize your time. You have to.
Mm-hmm. Definitely. Yeah. Hey, and there's Carolyn Adams.
Hi,
thank you. Next up is Ellen R. A reading. Let's let the guides decide what past life is best for me to learn about. Well, there's a nice way of putting it. Okay. Okay. I was seeing reindeer. I literally, this is like in Finland, seeing reindeer. You're a reindeer herder. What do they call that? This something people. It starts with an S. And I think you must have really funny guides because it's Christmas season, and I'm seeing them out on the, the big frozen wasteland. And with, yeah, first they were like coming through this area and all I saw were the reindeer. And then I saw you like all bundled up. So what did Ellen's soul learn in this time? It like really tuned into nature, like you were as alert to any kind of dangers or predators that were out there as the deer were. And I'm seeing like the northern lights in the sky. You really had a grasp on the seasons and really in tune with Gaia. Yeah, and you were this old guy. I can hardly see you because you're bundled up in this fur layers of fur, but in the evening smoking a pipe or something like that, smoking something. And it was just a really simple life. Let me see, is there what was she to learn from this? It was all about just being connected to nature, to the animals, to the earth, to the sky, to the stars. And that was kind of like, for us looking at a cell phone, it was just, yeah, everybody had that and everybody did it. It didn't seem like a big thing. But yeah, that was kind of interesting. Thanks, Ellen. What did you get?
So I got something opposite but similar. So, a monk or a priest in high mountains of maybe Nepal or a really, really cold area. But in this lifetime, you're a man and you were focusing on only your spirituality. Only so connecting with the divine and holding space for everybody else. So it's the opposite, but almost the same thing, right?
Yeah. And
You
Ellen
must be
said,
very wise.
yeah, not Swami, but the Sami people. Yeah, that's what I was trying to think of. Thank you. And Ellen, I'm just really curious. Are you someone who is like comfortable just being on your own, or are you more of like prefers to be with people? I just get this feeling from that of having this inner peace and knowingness, and whether it was connecting to the earth or connecting to like the monk, to connecting to spirit, that there was just this inner peace and solidness. And I'm kind of feeling like people may see that and sort of be drawn to you because it's sort of like, this, I don't know, I'm comfortable in my own. Yeah, I am too. I think that's kind of nice to know. Yeah, there's a reason where that comes from. It's beautiful. Thank you for that opportunity. Next we have Artie Strader, excuse me. Okay, Artie. Yeah, okay. This is kind of weird, but I'm seeing it starts out like a big yellow star in the sky, and then it turns this way. And instead of light, it's like tinsel streamers coming down, and then it's very mechanically turning around this way. So I think this is a indication to, to be careful, to check out who and what you believe in and put your faith in, because sometimes it can seem like, yeah, that seems really cool, but then if you take it see it at a different angle, it might not be what you thought initially. So yeah, and there's still, the imitation star with the tinsel, that's wonderful too. That makes a great Christmas decoration or something like that. But if it's really something that you're going to put your heart and soul and faith into, just kind of check in with your own gut, with your own spirit guides to make sure, does this resonate with me? And is this something that's in my highest and best interest? And does this align with divine source energy? Yeah. How about you?
I had something similar. I got a river. First, I got a river, and it was a beautiful river, and it was just flowing. And then the message was, just go with the flow. Go with the flow. So that's the message I heard very clearly. Just go with the flow. Don't try to. Right now, it's not your time to like do anything. Just take every day as it comes, and just take it as it comes. Like if you feel in one afternoon that you should get up and go to the park, then get up and go to the park. If you feel like you shouldn't turn left, don't turn left. And yeah, so tap into your intuition, and also appreciate yourself. Yeah, and go with the flow. So it's hard for some people to go with the flow, but that's what they're saying right now for you.
That sounds good. We're kind of at odds though. Mine's saying, yeah, go with the flow, but check your gut too.
Well, I said the same thing. I mean, I
Okay.
said check your intuition.
Yes.
But yeah, always. So going with the flow is checking your intuition and going with what your intuition says.
Okay.
To me.
Yes. That makes that. I'm glad you clarified that.
Yeah.
It's beautiful. So thanks. Oh, and here's a peaceful, easy feeling. Back to the past reading. She remembers someone told her about a past life in the 20s, and she was a flapper. So that tracks. That might have been the
because
next.
you would have been, if you had gone on the boat to New York City in like the late around the 1900s or the late 1890s, you would have been an adult in the 1920s.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Makes sense. And I got that you were very happy. So flappers were happy. They were. Flappers were happy.
It was a fun time.
Did you ever see an unhappy flapper? I don't know. They were dancing and enjoying life.
Going to speakeasies, all that stuff.
Yeah. Smiling all the time. I bet that was a wonderful.
And they bobbed their hair and had short skirts and those long necklaces. Okay. Yeah. Enough about flappers.
The fringe.
Yeah. Oh, yes.
The fringe.
The fringe. Oh, and those wonderful hats.
The fringe that would move while they were dancing.
Do you think you and I maybe had were there in the 20s because we're all, you say one thing.
I think I was somewhere in the 20s because I absolutely love Art Deco.
Yeah.
Architecture. So.
And I like that Art Nouveau stuff. Okay. Melinda Crocker. Hello, I would like a past life reading. Let's see what we can bring forth for Melinda. And you're welcome, Artie.
Okay, I'm getting that you were involved in building the train tracks. I think it was definitely trains. So I don't know whether you worked on trains or whether you were building train tracks. You were a man. And you had a family and you took good care of your family. So if you were working on the train tracks, you probably came from Ireland or, yeah, I think you came from Ireland. You weren't born in the United States, but you worked on the trains. And it was a happy life. You worked hard, but you also had a great wife. I can see your wife now. Wow. Wow. So your wife was a great cook. I'll just say that. And 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 you had lots of really good friends that worked with you on the railroad. So you had a so let's not say, you're wealthy rich, but you were rich in your life and rich in the people around you. Yeah, I can't believe I can see your wife. It's so cool. She was amazing. She was like the kind of woman that cooks apple pies. Okay,
Cool.
that's all I got for right now.
Melinda, when I tuned in, I saw you as an older man who had hair even whiter than mine, and he was wearing a brown, long brown robe. It kind of looks like, I don't know, maybe Roman times, but I think you were an early Christian who was out trying to spread the word and not getting a good response. And I see you with a staff, and you're kind of like holding on to it and putting your hand up because they're throwing stones at you. So you were being brave, trying to spread the word, but nobody was listening. Where you were, no one was listening. So, okay, Spirit, why is this important for Melinda to know now? They're saying that sometimes, and they're reminding me of someone in my life who would say this. It was very important for her and for you now. Perhaps I just need you to see my point. I just need you to see my point. I don't care if you disagree with me, but give me the grace of just letting me explain my side of this issue. And sometimes you may find yourself being a little vehement about that, and it might be a little hard to let go. Well, that's why. So, if you ever get that feeling in a conversation where it's like you get this feeling like, well, just let me finish, just let me get this out. It's only polite conversation to let someone have their say and their piece, but there's more than that for you. So let's see. So what you're supposed to do with this? Understand that there was a time when it just triggers that life where you would start speaking and they wouldn't even let you get it out. And they would just, all of a sudden they're almost rioting and trying to drive you out of this little village or whatever. So that just knowing that might give you some insight into the way that you deal with people who don't really want to hear what you have to say, whether it's, I just need you to pick up your socks or something like that in the household or in business or whatever. It's important to know that your voice is important and it deserves to be heard, but kind of take a breath and find a way to most peacefully get your point across. I hope that makes sense. And did you read for Melinda or
Yeah, I
already?
got the train. I'm trying to
Great,
figure
that's right.
out what the messages and I'm not sure you were from Ireland. I keep getting China, and I don't really understand that. I don't I don't know what time. How did people from China get to San Francisco back in the day? I guess obviously by boat, but that's a long journey. So I kept getting Chinese. So I think you were from China, and um, so you left China for a better life, and then you ended up with a really good family, a strong wife, and you worked hard, but it was a good life. And so, how does that affect now? I think that the strong wife figure is prominent in this, um, and you had a happy life. So bring forward that love of your family, and I think you probably already are. Um, and that's how it's important in this lifetime.
Beautiful.
Does that make sense? I don't
Yeah,
know. I just have to
and
say
you
what I get. I kept hearing China, China. Even after I stopped talking, I kept hearing China, China. So I have to say it.
and maybe your eyes were closed, but EMC said the Chinese were brought to work on the railroads, so that makes sense too. Yeah.
I mean, can you imagine back then, which would have been, I don't even know when that was, like the late 1800s, to come on a boat from China to the United States? I
Yeah.
mean, now it's hard to come on a boat from China. I can't even imagine what that was like.
Yeah.
So that means you were very strong and resilient for sure.
Definitely. Let's read for hypnicity.
Yay! High hypnicity.
And Carolyn, I do have your question starred, and I think we'll be able to get to it. All right. Let's see what
So
we
do
can
you
do
have
for
a question,
hypnicity.
hypnicity?
Oh, thank you, Melinda. That made perfect sense. I know my grandfather worked on the railroad. Very interesting. Excellent work. Yeah. Cool. Oh, and now,
Okay, hypnicity. Sorry about this. I'm getting, you know what you need to do and just go out and do it. Sorry. You know what you need to do. Why aren't you doing it? Yeah, that doesn't sound like it's from the Akashic Records Masters because they're a little bit more living. Go ahead, Joan.
okay.
What is the word? Ruminate on that. Ruminate on that.
Yes, yes. When I tuned in hypnicity, I saw a vertical waterfall, and then it turned into, it was like, okay, there's this way, and then there's this way. And then I saw a waterfall where it comes down in steps, and big dark rocks with some water coming over it, a little pool, and then it goes over here, and then so it takes its time in stages rather than one huge cascade. So I asked, "What's this all about?" And it kind of heard take things a step at a time. Um, it's still the same amount of water goes from the top to the bottom of the river. But then I drew a card for you, and it said, "Don't take it step at a time. Um, Leap, spread your wings." And it's funny because this is, well, there it is. That's the color of the rock that I was seeing with the stepped waterfall. So yeah, take a leap, but maybe you can leap just one stage at a time rather than going off the huge, huge cliff. And then I've pulled from the feathers deck the osprey that said, "Your success is now at hand. Allow abundance to flow to you effortlessly." So there's this thing about flow, taking a chance, going off the edge of the cliff, but maybe not off the biggest cliffs, taking things a step at a time. I do see a lot of water when I read for you. I see a lot of water all the time, but especially when I read for you. Oh dear. Okay. We missed it. You wanted to have a reading about past life and arthritis.
Okay.
Okay. Let's see if there's anything. I'm not getting anything more. How about you?
I'm working on it.
Okay.
Okay. I mean, I'm getting a past life of a very old woman. Um, and I'm sorry to, I hate saying things that are sad, but she was very old and alone and angry, and then she died. So that aloneness is coming forward in this lifetime in the form of arthritis, but that can be healed by the Akashic Records Masters. And um, I'm getting like shadow work, and it's hard to do shadow work. That sucks, it really does. But or you can do it. You can also do a regression. Um, I would go back to that lifetime specifically and heal her death. And I've actually done that for myself. Um, and so if you need to, but also the Akashic Records Masters can heal you too. So at the end, we're going to do like a clearing healing. And that energy of the Akashic Records Masters healing takes anywhere between 2 days and 8 months. The energy sometimes can move slowly, but it works. So we'll do that too. So that's three things you can do. You can do shadow work and try to heal that energy that was brought forward from that lifetime, or you can regress and heal that death, or we're going to ask the Akashic Records Masters to heal it. So that's not an easy. It's not an easy answer.
Yeah.
And I'm sending you lots of love.
Yeah. And if she wanted to have a private reading with you to do that kind of healing, are you available for something like that?
Well, sure.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Just email me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And what's your email address?
Well, I have two, but right now, just JENNICULKIN That's the best one.
Okay.
Um,
And she said her Swiss grandmother raised her sons alone, and she got goosebumps from your reading.
wow.
When I tuned back in, I couldn't get much past life stuff, but about the arthritis, I kind of heard, well, that was about the steps. It slows things down. And then they showed me a 3-leaf clover, or, that sometimes when you have to slow down and you can't do things in one fell swoop, you have to take it in steps. It slows you down to take a look and appreciate the little things. And you see things that you wouldn't when you're going, swooshing by really fast, or speeding by, not swooshing. I suppose you could speed and swoosh at the same time, but and she is okay. I've been in the shadow work mode for months and taken an Akashic Records class tomorrow. Perfect.
Yay! So
Good.
there, you're on the right track.
Yeah. Taking it. Good.
And I knew somebody that had rheumatoid arthritis since the age she was 19, and then she went all the way until she was maybe almost 70, and she never did any spiritual work. She never ever did any spiritual work. She never did any shadow work. She never did anything like that to help herself. And I always thought, what a waste. But you're doing the work, and the work is hard. It's not easy. Doing shadow work is like the hardest thing there is to do, I think. It's hard.
Yeah.
But then when you get in that Akashic Records in the Akashic Records class, you will be in that energy that is so high vibrational, it will blow your mind. And as Juno says, it will change your life.
It's cool. All right. Next up is Lisa M., who would like a past life reading. So let's see what we can bring through for her. I'm seeing you. This was not that long ago, I don't think. But I'm seeing you as this platinum blonde. You're in a white suit and you're sitting somewhere signing. I want to say books, but they're not books. It's people are lining up to buy something from you. And it looks like a collage of colored photos. I don't know if that's the cover of the book or what, but you've got the gold earrings and you kind of look, very well put together. Obviously good at whatever. I'm not sure if this is a collection of photographs, but it's something. Is this spirit? Is this artwork? What is she signing? She's signing a compilation of her book of photographs. But I'm seeing them in color. I don't know. And that can't be, we didn't have color photographs until commonly until, the 40s or 50s or something like that. And maybe this is a parallel life or something, or maybe this is you, because this looks like something that might have been probably from the 50s or 60s. I'm not quite sure how to place this as a past life, but whatever. This woman is here, and yeah, I think she was a photographer. Yeah, she was a photographer for Life magazine, went all over the world, and now that's what she was signing, like a copy of the magazine. And she's going, like going around doing speaking tours. So what is this about this person's life that's important for Lisa M to know? It's that this woman, whatever she was doing, she was very, very accomplished at it. And what you are to pick up from this is maybe you kind of feel what this woman is, the gift of her gift is a feeling with ease with your greatness, to be okay with that and to own it. And yeah, it was something she worked hard for and really scraped for to learn and to develop and grow. But then when she achieved what she achieved, she was like, yeah, I earned this and I deserve every damn bit of it. And she didn't, yeah. And it wasn't in a time when women professionals were as accepted as in any field, were as accepted as they are now. But she was just easy with that because she just commanded respect because she was so good at what she did. So I think that whether this is a past life or a guide or a parallel life of some sort, the spirit of this woman is there to help you feel a sense of ease with your own greatness in whatever form that takes. So cool. I hope that makes some sort of sense to you.
So I was getting similar, like almost not quite the same, a blonde. First, I got a blonde in California, and but I got walking on the beach, the ocean, in that part of California where there's cliffs and it's colder, not like Southern California, not LA. Um, and the beauty of that area is just will blow your mind. So maybe that's where you lived. Maybe that's where you took pictures. Um, or maybe that's where your heart is. But that's what I see. Like um, those huge cliff boulders, and there's boulders out in the ocean, and it's cold but beautiful, and the waves kind of crashing. But I don't really see the waves that much. It's more about the boulders and the cliffs and the beauty of it. So that's really all I got.
And Rossi said maybe Margaret Burke White was a photographer. It could have been that you were like a starlet or something too, but I got the feeling that was, maybe signing a magazine in which you were featured, but I got more the feeling you were the photographer. Interesting. That was kind of fun. Not what I expected. And Carolyn Adams. Okay, what past life affects Carolyn the most? Are you getting feedback?
No, I'm good. It's perfect for me.
If anybody is getting an echo, let me know. This is weird. Okay, so let's just tune in. Yes, to the echo. Okay, I'm going to switch. You go first because I'm going to switch audio things.
Okay, I'm still asking. Oh wow! Oh my! I've never gotten this ever before. I think you lived in Salem, or um, you either lived in Salem. I don't think you got killed, or nearby there, and you had great abilities, strong abilities. But um, I get the feeling that you didn't get in trouble for that. Um, so there's no murder, no death, no killing. But I get that you live near Salem, Massachusetts. So what does that mean? Well, I get that you are a woman with abilities, but I think you held it pretty close to your vest, so um, you weren't hurt by it. But you understood that if you spoke out, you might be in trouble for that. So I'm by myself. I had my eyes closed. I didn't even know. Um, there she is. Come on, girlfriend. Um, sorry this is messing you up, Carolyn, but I had never, ever, ever gotten anybody in Salem, Massachusetts, ever. You lived in an old Victorian home. Of course, back then it probably wasn't old. And you were female, and you worked in the town. So what did you do? I'm not sure. you either worked in a business in the town, like a small business, like a bakery or something like that, or you owned it. I'm not sure, but I do see that. So is that affecting you now? How is that affecting you now? It's probably affecting you now because you have abilities, and I hope you're using them. And if you're not using them, I would start taking some classes and bring them forward. Everybody has psychic abilities. It's just a matter of starting to exercise that muscle. Um, so yeah, I can actually see it. That's pretty cool. I got a long black skirt on with like petticoats underneath and those boots. So if you're not taking classes, you should. And if you are, then you're good.
Perfect. Thank you for stepping up. Can you hear me now?
Yep.
Okay,
Mm-hmm.
I apologize for that. And Carolyn, when I tuned into you, I saw you as a monk making illuminated manuscripts with the beautiful, beautiful uh, lettering and the gold leaf and all the little illustrations down the side. And so you were kind of from dawn to dusk up in some tower, and you'd watch, kind of watch the sun moving across the page as the sun went across the sky. And that, so you did that. And then you also worked in a garden. And you had this because you were so detail oriented in the doing the scribe stuff. I don't know if you really had any extra time, to do it, but you were sort of interested in being like the Gregor Mendel guy for crossbreeding different plants. And you weren't doing it to that extent, but you were also very interested in the plants and the vegetables and things that were growing. And yeah, so I think the attachment to nature and the appreciation of art and beauty and very much the attention to detail is what you may have brought back from that life. Cool. Well, that brings us up to an hour. I thank everybody who came. This was really fun. And thank you most of all, Jennie, for doing this. You just bring such light and joy and to every group that you're with. You just love it.
I had my eyes closed. I didn't even know you were gone.
Oh, good.
And if I'd had known, I would have been freaking out probably.
That kind of freaked me out a bit. That's never happened. I think I put my headset on too early and it just ran out of batteries. So now we understand what happens when I do that. So I won't do that again. Thank you, everyone. Have a great weekend.
Can we do like a clearing fast? I'll do a fast.
Oh, yeah. Do that.
For everybody in the chat.
Okay.
So this is like in Akashic Records. We asked the masters to like clear and heal everybody in the chat and then put them on the highest timeline. So if you forget what day it is, you jump timelines. Okay, here we go. Akashic Records Masters, I request a clearing and healing for everyone in the chat today of all resentments, hurts, grief, blame, anger, and everything else to allow for a complete and deep forgiveness of everyone in the chat and all concerned, in all cellular structures, in all space and time, in all dimensions and densities, and in the space in between, in all past lives, in all future lives, in all ancestral lines, in all timelines, for the highest good of everyone in the chat and the highest good of all humanity. And please put them on the highest timeline for all concerned. We ask that everyone be healed and cleared to facilitate deep forgiveness and healing for everyone in the chat, for the highest good and the highest good of all concerned. Beloved Akashic Records Masters, we thank you. And so it is.
And so it is. Thank you so much.
I love them. They're the best. So everybody has 2 Akashic Records Masters that are just sitting there waiting for you to talk to them. So everybody start talking to your Akashic Records Masters.
Perfect. Oh, and I was just going to mention, I think Anne Swantek said maybe next time she'd get a reading, but I think Anne, you were our first reading or one of the early ones. So maybe listen back if you're still here. And thanks everybody for coming, and we'll see you again soon. Have a great weekend. Bye now.